So, bees are very busy insects. They fly from flower to flower collecting sweet nectar. But you might wonder, where do they go when their work is done? Well, they head back to their home, which is called a nest or a hive. A nest is actually a super important place for a bee colony. It's where all the bees live together as one big family. The queen bee, who is the mother of every bee in the hive, really needs a safe spot to lay her many, many eggs. The nest keeps her and those eggs protected from bad weather. The nest keeps her and those eggs protected from hungry animals. It's a warm and cozy home for the entire buzzing community. But you know, the nest is much more than just a house. It's also a nursery for baby bees. The eggs that the queen bee lays will hatch into tiny larvae. These baby bees need to stay warm and be fed so they can grow big and strong. The worker bees take care of them inside the safe walls of the nest. Building this special place is absolutely one of the most important jobs for the bees. It's a task that takes teamwork and some amazing skill, starting with finding the perfect place to build. Before the building can even start, the bees need to find the perfect location for their new home. And honestly, this is a really serious job. When a colony needs a new place to live, they send out special bees called scouts. These scout bees are experienced, older bees who are great at exploring. They fly off in all sorts of directions searching for a suitable spot. Sometimes they'll travel for miles looking for a place that's just right. So what makes a spot perfect? The scouts are actually quite picky. They look for a space protected from the elements. A hollow log, a dark cave, a high cavity in an old tree. The entrance should be small so guard bees can defend it. The space inside has to be big enough for the colony to grow. Big enough for them to build wax combs. Big enough to store lots of honey for the winter. When a scout finds a promising place, she flies back to the waiting swarm. But she can't just tell them. She has to show them. She performs a special waggle dance. Her movements tell the other scouts the direction, and they also indicate the distance. The more excited she is, the more energetically she dances. The whole swarm takes flight together, following the scouts to their brand new home. Once the bees have picked out their new home, the real hard work of building begins. But you might ask, what do they actually use to build their nest? Honeybees are just amazing because they actually create their own building material. This special stuff is called beeswax. It's made by the younger worker bees in the hive. On the underside of their bodies, these bees have special glands that produce tiny white flakes of wax. It takes a ton of energy to make wax. The bees need to eat a lot of honey, about 8 pounds, just to make 1 pound of beeswax. The worker bees carefully scrape these tiny wax flakes off their bodies using their legs. Then they chew the wax with their mouths. Chewing makes the wax soft and easy to shape, like kneading dough. The bees pass these little bits of softened wax to other worker bees at the construction site inside the hive. It's a team effort. Some make the wax, others build. While beeswax is the main building block, bees also use another material called propolis. Propolis is a sticky, glue-like substance made by collecting resin from trees and from flower buds. The result is a waterproof glue that acts as a sealant and as a disinfectant for the hive. It's almost like the bees have their own caulk and disinfectant to keep their home safe, secure, and sterile for the entire colony. With the beeswax ready and propolis ready, the construction of the honeycomb can begin. The worker bees start building from the top of the cavity and work their way down. They hang together in long chains, forming a living scaffold as they cling to one another. This lets them measure the space and keep everything perfectly straight. Bees at the top of the chain take softened wax from other workers who pass it up, and the top bees carefully place it to start the first row of cells. The bees build the honeycomb using a very special shape, the hexagon. A hexagon has 6 equal sides. Watch the cells click together, no gaps, just perfect tiling. That means no wasted beeswax. Hexagons are also incredibly strong. The comb can hold a lot of weight-heavy honey growing bee larvae without breaking. They construct honeycomb in sheets called combs. Each comb is thousands of hexagonal cells, back to back. The cells are angled slightly upward to keep liquids from spilling. Bees then cap the cells with wax. The entire nest is a masterpiece, built cell by cell, comb by thousands of dedicated workers. If you could peek inside a finished bee nest, you would see a highly organized and bustling city. The sheets of honeycomb hang vertically, creating a maze of waxy walls. The cells in the comb are not all used for the same thing. They are organized into different sections, each with a specific purpose. At the center of the nest, where it is warmest, is the nursery or brood chamber. This is where the queen bee lays her eggs. The worker bees, acting as nurses, constantly patrol this area. Directly next to the nursery, the bees store pollen. Farther out from the center and higher up in the nest, the bees store their honey. Here, the hexagonal cells are filled to the brim with golden, glistening honey. The entire nest is a hive of activity. Thousands of bees are constantly moving, communicating, and working. The inside of a bee nest is a warm, sweet-smelling, and incredibly efficient world, all built by the bees themselves.